Let's take a look at problem number 1. We have h of t equals absolute value of t plus 2 plus 3. And it says find h of 6. We write the problem using the substitution methods. So h of 6 equals absolute value 6 plus 2 plus 3, right? So we're going to work what's the absolute value first. H of 6 equals the absolute value of 8 plus 3. We find the absolute value of 8, which is 8. H of 6 equals 8 plus 3. H of 6 equals 11. Number 2. We have g of a equals 3 to the 3a minus 2. And then it says find g of 1. All right, so we're going to start off like we started off the first one. We're going to take g of 1. We're going to place the 1 wherever we see the a's. So g of 1 equals 3 to the 3 and a, 3 times 1 minus 2, right? So we're going to work the order of operations right here. It means that we do multiplication first. 3 times 1 is 3. All right. 3 minus 2 is 1. 3 to the first power is 3. Number 3. Number 3 says W of t equals negative 2t plus 1. Then it says find W of negative 7. All right, we're going to go ahead and replace everywhere we see t's, we're going to replace it with negative 7. W negative 7 equals negative 2 times negative 7 plus 1. Once again, we use order of operations. Use order of operations. Negative 2, multiplication first. Negative 2 times negative 7 is positive 14. 14 plus 1 is 15. So the way that we read our answer, W of negative 7 equals 15. All right, let's take a look at number 4. We have g of x equals 3x minus 3. Then find g of negative 6. Once again, we substitute negative 6 in wherever we see x. So g of negative 6 equals 3 times negative 6 minus 3. All right, then we go back basically to our pre-algebra, algebra 1 rules, order of operations. All right, day 1 stuff. G of negative 6 equals 3 times negative 6 is negative 18 minus 3. All right, so now we have a negative 18 and a minus 3. Minus 3 is the same as saying negative 3, because if we use the keep, change rule, then this is the same thing as saying we keep negative 18, change the subtraction to a plus, change the positive to a negative. So now we have negative 18 plus negative 3, which is negative 21. Number 5, it says h of n equals negative 2n squared plus 4. Then find h of 4. Right? So h4 equals negative 2 times 4 squared plus 4. All right, so that squared is really attached to that n. Since n or 4 represents n, then we say 4 squared. So based off of the order of operations, we find the exponents first. We evaluate it. So h of 4 equals negative 2. 4 squared is 16. Remember, 4 squared is not 4 times 2, it's 4 times 4. Plus 4. All right, order of operations, once again, we have multiplication first. So negative 32 plus 4. Negative 32 plus 4, that means that we're subtracting because we have a negative and a positive number, right? Answer takes the sign of the larger number. Negative 28. Number 6, h of t equals negative 2 times 5 to the negative t minus 1. Then find h of negative 2. H of negative 2 equals negative 2 times 5 to the negative parentheses negative 2 minus 1. All right, so the reason this is like this is because the negative is already sitting in the problem, and the number that we're plugging in is also negative. So that means that we have double negatives. So when we have double negatives, we know that eventually it's going to end up being positive, right? So we have negative 2 times 5 to the second minus 1. Negative 2 times 5 to the first, and 5 to the first is 5. So negative 2 times 5 is negative 10. So we have h of negative 2 equals negative 10. Number 7, we have f of x equals x squared minus 3x. Then find f of negative 8. F negative 8 equals negative 8 squared minus 3 times negative 8. F of negative 8 equals negative 8 squared means negative 8 times negative 8. When we're multiplying and net two negatives, we get a positive. So negative 8 times negative 8 is positive 64. And right here, we're multiplying, so we can take this minus as being negative 3. Let's say negative 3 times negative 8, which is 24. 64 plus 24 gives us 88. Number 8, P of A equals negative 4 to the 3 times 8. Substitute negative 1 in where we see 8, so P of negative 1 equals negative 4 to the 3 times negative 1. P of negative 1 equals negative 4 to the negative 3. So the rule about negative exponents is that whenever we have negative exponents, in order for them to be positive, we do the inverse of the number. So the inverse of negative 4 to the negative third is actually P of negative 1 equals 1 over negative 4 to the third. Negative 4 to the third means negative 4 times negative 4 times negative 4. Which gives us, put it down here, 1, negative 1 over 64. Number 9, P of t equals 4t minus 5. Says find P of t minus 2. All right, so in this particular problem, we have a binomial, all right? Binomial meaning we have two terms in this. So we're going to start off the problem. P of t minus 2 equals 4 times t minus 2 minus 5. All right, we're going to start right here. We're not going to worry about this, all right? We're going to say use the distributive property because we have a number on the outside of the parentheses. So 4 times t is 4t. 4 times negative 2. That's negative 2 because it says minus 2. So 4 times negative 2 is negative 8. We're going to bring down to minus 5. All right, right now we have like terms. All right, so how do we distinguish like terms? We have a variable with this number. All right, the variable is t. Do these two have variables? No. All right, so that means that these two are our like terms. We have a negative 8 and a negative 5. So if we have a negative 8 and a negative 5, that means we're going to add, right? So 4t, negative 8 and negative 5 gives us negative 13. So we can write 4t minus 13. Therefore, P of t minus 2 equals 4t minus 13. Number 10, G of A equals 4a. Find G of 2a. All right? G 2a equals 4 times 2a. This is simple. All right? We're multiplying, so the like terms in this situation really doesn't matter because we're multiplying. So 4 times 2a gives us 8a. Therefore, G of 2a equals 8a. Number 11, W of n equals 4n plus 2. Then find W of 3n. So W of 3n equals 4 times 3n plus 2. Simple rules, order of operation. W of 3n equals 4 times 3 is 12. Bring the n. 12n plus 2. Number 12, W of a equals a plus 3. Find W of a plus 4. All right, we're going to start from this point. We're not going to write this side this time. It really doesn't matter, but I do it just to show you all where this goes. All right, once again, we have another binomial. So we're going to replace it right here with the a. A plus 4 plus 3. What are our like terms? Right. 4 and 3. A plus 7 is your answer. Number 13. H of x equals 4x minus 2. Then find h of x plus 2. All right, we know that h of x plus 2 equals 4 times x plus 2, close parentheses, minus 2. Distribute. 4 times x is 4x. 4 times 2 is 8. Bring down to minus 2. Like terms, 8 and negative 2. So 8 minus 2 gives us 6. So 4x plus 6 is our answer. Number 14, k of a equals negative 4 to the 3a plus 2. We have a binomial which is a minus 2. So k of a minus 2 equals negative 4 to the 3 times a minus 2, which is the exponent, part of the exponent, plus 2. All right, so everything we have to work out is up here. We distribute 3 times a, it's 3a, 3 times a negative 2, it's a negative 6, bring down to plus 2, negative 6, positive 2, it's negative 4. So your final answer is negative 4 to the 3a minus 4. Number 15, g of n equals n cubed minus 5n squared. Find g of negative 4n. G of negative 4n equals, and we're going to put negative 4n in parentheses and we're going to cube it. Minus 5. Once again, we put negative 4n in parentheses. This time we square it. All right, so the exponents on the outside of parentheses go to everything on the inside of the parentheses. Therefore, negative 4 is cubed, the n is cubed. And over here, negative 4 is squared, and the n is squared. All right, so now we evaluate. We're going to evaluate negative 4 cubed. Negative 4 times negative 4 times negative 4 gives us negative 64n cubed minus, we're going to work with some parentheses right here first. Negative 4 squared is positive 16n squared. Next, we multiply. Negative 5 times 16 gives us n squared, right? Now, since we're subtracting, can we do anything else to that? No, because these are not like terms, okay? Therefore, our answer is negative 64n cubed minus 80n squared. Number 16, f of n equals n squared minus 2n, then find f of n squared. So we're going to take n squared. We're going to sub it in for this n. All right, we're not going to remove the exponent. So n squared minus 2 times n squared. All right, we have a power of a power, so that means we multiply. N squared, 2 times 2 is 4. So n to the 4th minus 2n squared.